What is going on, everybody? Tyler Brandt back here with another video. Happy Labor Day. Hope you're having a nice, relaxing Monday afternoon. Hope you've had a nice Labor Day weekend. And the best part about Labor Day is football season. I mean, it's pretty much here. It's officially week one when you think about it. Thursday Night Football, we have the Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champions, and the Texans. And this Sunday, the Patriots are back on the field in the regular season playing some real life football. A whole new look New England Patriots, but a brand new team, a brand new season. There is so much to be excited about. We cranked through so many videos, so much off-season, so much training camp, a wild off-season with COVID, a wild training camp with COVID, and we're here. We're at the doorstep of a brand new NFL season. With that being said, the videos this week I would like to do, the plan this week is the video you're going to get today is my 2020 AFC East outlook, looking at every single team, what I think of them, and the final standings for all these teams going into 2020. Later this week, I would like to do a predictions for game by game, just a quick little run by for every single game and how I got to the Patriots, 11-5 prediction. If I have time later in the week, maybe like an NFL power ranking, something like that towards next weekend. And then, of course, Sunday, we'll do some pregame Miami Dolphins stuff looking at the team. We know that today, Monday, they have elected Ryan Fitzpatrick the starter for the time being. So that's who the Patriots will play week one. But we got a whole bunch of stuff to get to between now and Sunday. So without any further ado, the 2020 AFC East outlook for me this season. Let's get into it. Just some of the kind of ways that I shaped this division around some of the notes that I have over the previous couple years and just going into looking at the schedules and considering COVID guidelines and the changes. So this is basically the parameters of which I stack this division and order this division. Basically, the way I think about it is the entire AFC East plays a pretty tough schedule. You know, there's some, pretty sleepy games, but every team in the NFL, with the exception of a few, are actually pretty competitive this year. But that's here nor there. In terms of the division, all three teams play Seattle, San Francisco, and Kansas City. So every team in the division plays those three pretty tough games against three either pretty good defenses, very, very good quarterbacks, very good coaches, etc. Now, beyond that, New England and Buffalo also play, my opinion, the most talented team in the AFC, and that is New England and Buffalo both play Baltimore. So beyond those three tough games that all four teams in the division play, New England and Buffalo also have to play Baltimore this year. So I think that no team is probably going to run away with this division because of that, because I don't think there's a real strength or stretch of time where any team is going to have a run of easy games. Every team plays tough games. Every team is going to run into some very, very good teams in the AFC and in the NFC this season. Going on, the next thing that I really thought about when building this list and this order in the AFC East in 2020 is that both Sam Darnold and Josh Allen have yet to beat New England in their careers. Now, does Tom Brady being the quarterback have something to do with that? Possibly. We'll find out this year. But I do think it is worth noting that both Sam Darnold and Josh Allen have never beaten New England. And until one of them beats New England, I can't change my thinking. Even if there is a New England bias here, I just can't change my thinking to think that neither one of them have added, maybe Stephon Diggs in Buffalo, but neither one of them have added or done anything to take the next step to make me believe that they can beat a Belichick defense. Looking back over Patriots history here, the Patriots haven't lost more than 2 divisional games in this division since 2006. They've completely dominated this division. Now, a lot of years it's because there were some pretty bad teams in the division. I understand that. But Belichick has reigned supreme over this division, and until a team does something otherwise, I'm just not ready to say that they're going to lose this division, just looking at it straightforward. And finally, looking back again in Patriots history, the AFC East has been won by New England for 11 straight years and 16 times since the NFL's realignment in 2002. They've won 17 of the last 19 AFC titles. So again, Belichick's dominated this division. Again, until something happens otherwise, I just don't see it. I mean, even the great season Buffalo had last year, they couldn't get that win in Foxborough when they needed to get it. So we'll go from the bottom up in this division, and we'll start with the 4th place to last place team in this division, and I think it is going to be the New York Jets. I have them here at around probably 5-11, 6-10, 7-9, maybe 4-12. I would say give me a game up and low. That'll be my safe zone to see, if I'm a betting man, that'll be my line. I'll give myself one lower or one higher win total. But the New York Jets, to me, finish in 4th place. Head coach Adam Gase, offensive coordinator Dowell Loggins, neither one of them, quite frankly, are very good. I'm someone that was decently high on Gase. I thought that he was doing a lot of the right things, and I think that there is some good with him, but there's a lot more bad with him. The final piece of that coaching staff, of course, is Greg Williams. He has done a great job with very, very limited talent. Of course, they trade Jamal Adams. A good trade, in my opinion, but they trade Jamal Adams, and now C.J. Mosley's out again. So this defense is, even if they stay at an average, I think it would be impressive, but I just don't think that the schedule lets them stay there. I think that this is going to be a severely, severely talentless team against a very tough schedule in 2020. Now, of course, Lev Bell is a good running back, a very good running back. Hopefully, Adam Gase uses him a little better. I, myself, am a believer in Sam Darnold. I think he can do very, very good things with the football. He makes a few boneheaded mistakes on his own. He's also been surrounded by very, very bad offensive teams. There's just really no going around that. So I think that the Jets are doing the right thing. The trade was good. I think Joe Douglas is the right guy. I think he's building something there, but I still think they are a year or two away. And again, as I said in a video that I did with Matt O'Leary of Matt O'Leary NY on YouTube, until Adam Gase isn't the head coach of this team, I can't take them seriously as a football person or as a Patriot fan. I just don't think he's the right guy. It's not there for me. It doesn't fit. I think Joe Douglas needs to get his own guy in here to run this offense and run the team that he builds. But I think the building blocks are starting to get there. I think they have a ton of draft capital. They have the right quarterback, in my opinion. I just think they're a couple years away, and it's going to be another tough year for Jet fans. Next up, in 3rd place in the AFC East in 2020, I have the Miami Dolphins. I have them at 6-10. Maybe a 7-9, even an 8-8 ceiling, or, a couple things go wrong, 5-11. But listen, I think the coaching staff is pretty much right for the most part. Brian Flores, the head coach, it looks like he's doing the right thing. Really got the most out of a lackluster team last year. Chan Gailey is a proven commodity at, offensive coordinator. He may not be reinventing the wheel, but he's very good. And defense coordinator Josh Boyer. Let's start here with Miami. This roster is very, very talented and a lot more talented than people let on. Devontae Parker is no slouch. Mike Gesicki is no slouch. Jordan Howard and Matt Breida, 2 very good running backs. Shaq Lawson, very good. Kyle Van Noy, New England fans, we know him very well. Very good. Xavier Howard, Byron Jones. They are a very good piece. They're 2 very good pieces of a pretty good secondary. So this team is more talented than I think people understand. And Brian Flores has already gotten 5 wins out of a squad that is severely less talented. So I think the overproduction of last year coupled with just bringing in more talent is going to be very, very good for Miami. I'm personally in the camp of, if he's healthy, let him play, let him go. I also understand easing him in. Fitzpatrick is a serviceable quarterback, but I think if it's a subpar performance for Fitzpatrick early, that Tua has to just go in, and you just got to let him get in there and see, what he can do. But if Tua is the right guy, and depending on when he gets thrown into the mix, but if Tua is the right guy, he is going, to me, to take the NFL by storm. So I think if he comes in at the right time and, they're doing the right things and they have some talent around him, that this team could be a lot better than people let on. So for me, I think the Dolphins are a little bit better at head coach. They're a little bit, or probably really a lot more talented right now than the Jets, who would finish in last place. So I think Miami finishes just a bit better than them. They're the 3rd place team in the AFC East. Again, at a 6-10 record, give me a win or a loss. There's a little bit of leeway there. Now, the runner-up for the AFC East in 2020 is the Buffalo Bills. I have them finishing at 9-7, 10-6, 8-8. Give me the game leeway. Now, in terms of coaching staff, If they weren't in the AFC East, they have one of the better, probably one of the best coaching staffs in the AFC. Sean McDermott is a very good coach. Brian Daboll is a very good offensive coordinator. Leslie Frazier is a very good defensive coordinator. These guys are in the right spot, and I really think they could do something for the next few years here if Josh Allen takes the next steps. That's the first part I'm going to hit on about the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is good. He's not great. He hasn't been very good. We know he's yet to beat Belichick. In 2 seasons of NFL football, he has a 56.3 completion percentage, and last season he had a 20.3% bad pass percentage. That excludes throwaways and spikes, but he had a lot of errant passes last season, and I think both of those numbers, the completion percentage and the bad pass, need to go up and down respectively, and he needs to be a little bit more complete of a thrower before this Bills team really takes the next step. Beyond that, I also think that having expectations is something different. Playing with the expectations to be good rather than, no one expecting anything from you changes things. Success isn't easy to replicate and continue to replicate in the NFL or in any sport. To put this, kind of in numerical value, the Buffalo Bills have had some good seasons, between the late 90s and 2020 where we are now, but they have not had back-to-back 10-win seasons since 1998, 1999. So I think there is something to being successful consistently. Now the teams expect things from you. They're the favorites to win the division by Vegas. So teams already know that you're a good team. What do you do with that now? So I think the expectations of being good again are or could hurt this team a little bit, and Josh Allen as a thrower needs to be a little bit better. Again, the tough schedule will also hurt the Buffalo Bills. Playing Baltimore will also hurt the Buffalo Bills like it will New England. So I also don't think that helps them. And this is for every team in the AFC East, but it'll affect New England and Baltimore because I think they'll be in it at the end. Having no fans in the stands for the first few weeks or the first half of the season, I think is going to affect teams that are younger rather than teams that are older. I think kind of being in a routine helps older guys. They don't have to worry about as much. And for new kids in the NFL in their first, second, third season, this is a completely new way of doing things. And I also think that goes for coaches too. McDermott has been excellent through his first few seasons, but Sean McDermott has also only been a head coach for a few seasons. Bill Belichick is, again, routined in how he does things. There's a certain way he does things that, it's just happened in the 2 decades that he's been a New England Patriot head coach. So I think the rookie young head coaches are also going to feel the effects of not having fans in the stands more than some of the veteran head coaches. So I think between all that, Buffalo is a very good team. I think they're a fringe playoff team, just like New England, but I think New England will win this division because Buffalo, I just think there's a lot of expectation, and again, Josh Allen's errant passing. I just think right now New England to me is still the favorite in this division. So, as you haven't gathered already, first in the division, I have them at 11-5, 10-6, maybe 9-7 if everything is terrible, but 10-6, maybe 12-4, but that seems like a stretch. But I think 11-5, of course, we know head coach Bill Belichick back for his millionth season. Josh McDaniels back, and the defensive coordinator isn't really a role that any one person has. Belichick still realistically runs most of the defense. Now we have to understand there was a mass exodus of talent that left New England. A ton of guys, especially at the linebacker spot. So it could be a little bit of a bumpy ride getting off, especially with Seattle and Kansas City and San Francisco early in the season. So there has been a mass exodus of talent, and they may not even, and they're probably not the most talented team in the AFC East. But as of week 1, to me, they still have the best coaching staff, the best quarterback, yes, the best quarterback in the division, the best, again, coaching staff, the best secondary as well. So, and beyond that, the best offensive line. So they're still the most talented in 4 or 5 positions, more talented than every other team in this division, with a bunch of quarterbacks outside Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's a real flip of a coin, but paired with a division of quarterbacks and coaches that have yet to beat Bill Belichick. So for me to think that they would start beating Bill Belichick until they actually do it, I can't get there logically. One thing specifically that I think goes in favor of New England is the fact that they host, I believe, a Week 17 game in Foxborough in December, which I think will be a game probably for the division or to put the finishing touches on the division in 2020. So they host Buffalo in a December game in Foxborough. I think that helps them. And again, what I think hurts Buffalo a little bit helps New England. The shakeup of COVID-19 season, of COVID camps, of things like that, I think that's going to work in Belichick's favor. I don't know if favor is the word, but I think it's going to have less of an effect on a guy like Belichick, who's been doing this for 20, 30 years, as it would be for a guy like Sean McDermott, who is still in the very early stages of what is probably going to be a long head coaching job in Buffalo and a very good head coaching job, but he's still early in his tenure. So I think the COVID shakeup helps or doesn't hurt Belichick as much. The strong schedule works in the Patriots' favor. And again, they still have right now the best quarterback in the division, the best offensive line in the division, the best secondary in the division, the best coaching staff in the division. Those are things we know. Now, the rest of the groups, who knows? We'll have to see things as they get on the field. But they still are very good and a lot better than the division in a lot of different spots. So to kind of put the finishing touches on this video, again, we'll go from the bottom to the top. And of course, I have the Jets at 4 to 6 wins. Probably I have them at 5 and 11. Next up in third place, the Miami Dolphins at 6 and 10. Again, a game leeway in between. Then Buffalo at 9 and 7. And New England at 11 and 5. Until a team beats New England, I'm not ready to just cook them and ship them off somewhere. Team has to actually beat them, which they haven't done in a long time in that division. But that is going to do it for this video. Once again, I'm Tyler Brandt. What do you think of my division standings? Let me know in the comments down below. Put your division standings in the comments down below. I want to see how you guys think everything will turn out. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. We are so close to 100 followers. If we can hit it before week 1, that would be so awesome. We are very, very close now at this point. If you want to chop it up even more, follow me on Twitter at the Tyler Brandt, on Instagram at Talking Pats. And again, leave a comment down below on what you think of the standings. We have a loaded week this week. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out. Hopefully a Miami pregame Sunday. Talk about Miami a little bit. But until next time, which will probably be tomorrow. Until tomorrow, once again, I'm Tyler Brandt. Stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you on the next video. Have a good Labor Day.